All right. Hello, YouTube. Stefan here. Um, so I know it's not a novelty as it was about a week ago when it came out, but for those of you like me, were busy with the holidays and the family, or for whatever other reason, did not get the Christmas launch of A2A Simulations Lockheed Constellation, here it is. I'm right now. You guys are looking at the inside of the virtual cockpit of A2A Lockheed L-049 Constellation. Now, I know yeah, as I said, it's not that much of a novelty anymore, but I figured that maybe having a look at it from the perspective of virtual reality could make this a little bit interesting. So today you guys are in for a little walk around the cockpit, and we're going to start the engine, get them running, and we're going to load some passengers, and we're going to finish the video with a takeoff. So basically, I'm gonna stop this as when we're gonna be airborne. Disclaimer: I will be making a few mistakes along the road. Number one reason is I'm not super familiar with the model yet, and number two reason is that since I'm wearing a VR headset right now, an Oculus Rift CV1. It's really hard for me to look at my checklist. Although, if some of you guys are familiar with Flyinside, you would probably bring to me that it would be possible for me to pop up a window that contains my checklist. You're absolutely right. I'm just not going to go there today. So, that would be the door where I guess we get into the cockpit. I don't think we use that door over there, although I might be wrong. So right now I'm standing at the back of the cockpit. This is the office for 4 people. On the left right here will be a navigator. That position here will be occupied by the flight engineer, right seat, and captain seat on the left. Let's start with engineer here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do once we get in the plane, we're going to turn on the master breaker on, so we get power from the battery. I'm also going to show you right here. This is the atmospheric and cabin control for pressurization, heating, climatization. At the flight engineer station here, we have access to basically everything that's engine related. For example, here I'm gonna turn on the booster pump on, just so you see how it works. If you want to know why you can see my hands in the screen right now, it's because I'm using a leap motion controller. It's basically an infrared camera that you put on your headset, and it tracks your hand in the virtual world. So we got fuel pumps on. Fuel cutoff are open, they're not cut. We're gonna set fire extinguisher on engine number 3. Wait a second, and almost right here. You can see this is, I'd say, finicky, but it's not the easiest thing to manipulate. When they're just simple switch, it's easier. So what do we got? Master ignition on. Where's my hand? Right here. Master ignition on. I think I'm going to do the rest from the official position from the engineer. Right now, believe it or not, I'm using the camera from the pilot seat. So I'm going to head on to my pilot seat as I go with the walkthrough, and we're going to finish what I just started, studying the systems. So on the left here is the navigator. Navigator has also control for the switch for the avionics. Let me flick that. There we go. So now the avionics are on. You have the map here, radio, I guess, there, navigation related quadrants like the altitude, the ADF, the speed, and the timekeeping, and an outside temperature. All right, so let's walk to our seats right here. All right, I will have to recenter my camera a little bit, if you excuse me. All right. So this would be our official workspace. so I'm gonna move on to the flight engineer seat. There we go. All right, so more on the startup. So we're gonna open the cowl flaps, all of them. So you can see the cowl flaps indication for the upper cowl flaps and the lower cowl flaps for all 4 engines. Okay, so mixture is off. RPM settings are neutral. We're gonna crack throttle to about 10%. And what's our outside temperature? Outside temperature right now read as right here 14 degrees. These are Celsius, so it's not super cold, but a little bit chilly, I guess, for the comfort of a passenger. So before we board them, we're actually going to get some engine running and get some cabin heating for a couple minutes. So we're gonna start by starting engine number 3. So there's also a ground power unit that you can have access to with a shift 3 menu. But just for the fun of it, we're gonna see if we have enough power in the battery to get her started. So we're at 20 volts. So we're gonna prime for about 5 seconds. Energize. That's more than 5 seconds. I'm trying to click on this switch.
Turning 3.
There we go. And we're gonna turn the magneto's on. And she's running.
Oil pressure is rising.
I'm gonna put it to auto rich. Make sure we have 1000 RPM. Oil pressure is already almost in the green. That's good. Alright, so we're gonna turn on the generator on that engine. This should give some relief to the battery. We're gonna see our main bus. We have 24 volts and rising. That's good. Okay, so since oil pressure is good, I'm going to get to 1500 RPM on that engine so that we can get some more electricity out of the generator. We're gonna turn the ground blower and the body heater. And the air conditioning system. There we go. Oil pressure is still good. Temperature is rising. So everything seems about right. Let's proceed with starting of number 4. So we're gonna get some energizing going on. About 5 seconds priming. Let's clutch it in. And the magnet on the boat. Should catch that about now. Come on, baby. There she is. Stop priming.
Oil pressure okay.
Make sure I'm auto rich. I'm gonna lean out number 3 to auto lean now that it warmed up a little bit. And we're gonna stay there for now with generator on engine 4 also. And give them a couple minutes to heat the cabin. We're already at 18 degrees. It's rising. Extinguisher on number 4. I'm gonna put in the number 1 right away. There you go. So as you can see through the window right there, both number 3 and number 4 are spinning. We have about 1200 revolutions per minute. Auto set number 4 on auto lean. So as soon as we get 20 degrees, there we go, 20 degrees, we're going to board our passenger. Get rid of those ants. There we go, because they can be annoying sometimes. So, one thing that's important to keep in mind is with captain of the ship, if your carrier is on, you cannot cheat. What I mean here is that you cannot change the load of your airplane as, let's say you're rolling or if you're flying. Basically, you can only do it once you're on the ground and not moving. So we're going to go with a, let's say, a light load of passenger. It's going to be faster.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention?
And a fuel. So oil is
Ground to
full.
Captain. We are just loading up now.
The ice are full. Let's confirm that. 20 gallons in each tank of the icing liquid. And our oil quantity should be about 50 gallon. Yeah, there we go, 50 gallon in all 4 engines, so that's good. Alright, so we need to give it some time as they load the passengers. They're not very fast on that. I'd say it's going to take about maybe 4 or 5 minutes. Maybe less since I went with a light load. It's less people. Alright, so I know for you on the screen capture right now, you can see the shift for the loading screen right now as just being, you know, one more window on my screen. But what you want to know, or might want to know, is that that window actually shows up in floating around where I want to place it in my virtual cockpit. So I can basically move it, put it further, and shut it down, bring it back up, and so on. So that's really neat out of Flyinside. All right. So I'm gonna go set a destination in GPS. Oh yeah. AccuSim doesn't work here. You can see that I'm fogging up. So let me show you something. That's a nice tree. You can open the window. There we go. I don't know if you notice the sound changed. Basically, you can hear a little bit more of the prop wash and the engine, the exhaust clapping. And since we have power on here, we can actually turn on the windshield.
Ground crew to
here.
Captain.
Yep.
Cargo is loaded and we are shutting the door now.
Okay, so cargo's loaded already. So we're only missing for the passenger. We're gonna turn on our beacons, strobe light, nav light.
Everyone is in and the doors are secure.
Alright, everyone's in. Thank you, Betty. Yep. They decided to, actually we decided to call our flight attendant Betty. I say we decided because A2A, they've been actually really cool on that one. They made a survey on.
My name is Betty and I'm your head stewardess for the flight today. I'm just going over some safety and emergency procedures.
They made a survey on basically what would be the name we'd like to have for the new flight attendant for the Coney, and it looks like Betty won.
Please keep your seatbelt fastened until the captain has
Okay,
turned
so
off.
now that we have everyone on board, we're gonna go and we're gonna start number 1 and 2. So extinguisher on number 1. We're gonna energize number 1. Go. And we're gonna prime it for another 5 seconds also.
Turning one.
Spin it. Magnetos ignition on. And already catching. Good.
Oil pressure is rising.
Put number 1 on auto ridge. Generator on. Oil.
Everyone
Good.
is seated and we're ready to go.
Thank you, Betty. And let's
Ladies and
do the
gentlemen,
process
the
with
captain
the
put the non-smoking sign up,
number
so
2.
please refrain from smoking while the no smoking
Oh,
sign is
you guys
on.
heard that? She was in the middle of her safety brief when I turned on the no smoking sign, and now that she's on her safety brief and let me know of it, she remembered that I turned on the no smoking sign, so she just warned the people in the cabin about it. That's pretty neat. That's the kind of detail that shows just how much work is behind those airplanes from A2A. I'm not affiliated to them in any way, but I really like the product. So I might sound like I'm, you know, pitching some sales pitch to you guys, but it's just that I'm really into this. Just magnetos. And so I'll be catching. Rough. Auto
Oil
ridge.
pressure okay.
Good afternoon, everyone, from the cockpit. We'll be on our way shortly. It's nice weather for flying, so relax and enjoy your flight. If there's anything we can do to make your stay with us more enjoyable, let us know and we'll be happy to assist. So buckle up and enjoy the flight.
Alright, so all 4 engines are up and running. They're warming up. Cabin temperature should be stabilized at 21. That's pretty good. we're gonna go to the pilot station. There we are, and I'm actually going to ask the engineer, flight engineer, to take care of his station himself.
Yes, sir.
So he's gonna take care of supercharger,
Okay, sir. I'll get it all set up.
and so on.
Generator online.
Oh yeah, I forgot generator for engine. Let me just put it on. Extinguisher on off. Yep, that'll prevent an accidental discharge. No ground power, so we're not hooked up to the ground in any way. And at the back, everything's taken care of. So, we're gonna make sure altimeter is set. Should be 1275. It's about good. Gonna check our heading compass. 308. 308. There we go. We're gonna set a destination in the GTM. So I don't know if you guys have seen that GPS before. This is a Flight One product. This is their rendition of the Garmin
TOS system test
GTM
okay.
650, and it's a serious add-on. A bit on the expensive side of the thing, but it works really good. And it basically feels well. Okay, disclaimer here: I never tried one for real, but I never felt like I was using some kind of a game or poor rendition of the thing. It really feels like the real deal. And except for the sound system that's integrated in it, everything seems to be absolutely functional. Alright, so we're gonna set in Montreal. I'm flying here. My home base is Chibougamau, Northern Quebec. So we're gonna set in YUL, Yankee Uniform Lima, for direct VFR flight. Crap, clicked the wrong one, sorry. Gonna have to do that again. Oh well, it's gonna give me the opportunity to show you just how well made this is. I'm gonna go in my search. I'm gonna go for recent, and there's Montreal has been recently searched. So that should give us a heading 188. I'm sorry, 185. You can set that up in the autopilot right away. That one take the parking brakes off, and we're going to start our pushback. Looks dark suddenly. I guess we're under a cloud or something. Yeah, it's a cloud. Alright, so I'm gonna rev my engine up a little bit, 1200. There we go. That should do it for the pushback. So, it's a little bit to steer tight turn on the ground with that airplane. And my understanding of the thing is basically physic engine limitation of B3D with the nose wheel steer. So the trick I can give you right away is not only apply pedal, but you can use your outer board engine to help some of the steering at low speed. So with a gentle load, if you're not at maximum gross weight, I found that 1400 to 1500 is a good bet to a regular, or should I say a normal safe taxiing speed. Find that I'm not very cautious with traffic and stuff like that. That's because for performance reason in VR, I disable all traffic, absolutely all form of traffic, be it on the road, in the air, on the airport. As you can see, I also got rid of the building. There's no building on the airport right now. It's because, as most of you guys probably know, VR is very demanding. For the sake of maintaining a certain number of frames per second, I ended up cutting off a lot of details. Now, in real life, we would actually be steering with that little wheel here, that will steer. But in the simulation, it works with our rudder pedal very transparently. Not sure about the procedure, but what I do remember though is that 30 inches of manifold pressure never to be exceeded or something like that for exercising props and decking mags. So we'll stick to that 30 inches. So we're gonna go full rich and we're gonna apply 30 inches of boost. There we go. Exercise the prop. So it's electronically controlled by that switch right there, and it basically there we go. It basically activated the prop governor. So it's a little bit slower to respond, especially if you want to go from full fine to full course. I'm not going to go any lower than 1200. But when you're in the flying range of the props, like anywhere between 2800 and 2200 RPM, it's actually pretty quick. It's like 100 RPM per second. So you're not going to be activating that switch for more than 5-6 seconds at a time. And once you reach the maximum range of the prop, yeah, you're going to see those warning lights. That means you're at the top, either at the finest of the courses. So you can set the switch back to. Alright, so that looked good. Everything responded properly. We're going to do a quick mag check, all 4 engine at once. So right mag, boat, left mag, boat. I haven't seen anywhere near 75 RPM drop. That's pretty good. Alright, so let's line up with the runway. And we're going to get the crew to get the cabin ready at the back. You're going to see it's pretty believable. It's just a matter of setting up full rich. Flaps on takeoff position. There we go, that's one notch.
Takeoff flaps.
I'm forgetting to turn right here. I'm going to be a little bit left of the center line. There we go. That will the POS the POH already mentioned to roll the plane straight in the center line for a couple of feet just to make sure that your nose wheel is straight ahead. Alright, so we're takeoff flaps, we're going to go full fine, hold the brake, apply 40 inches, and you're going to hear the call for the crew.
Stewardesses, prepare for takeoff.
There we go. Oh, I'm forgetting something really important that I should have already put on for taxi. Is that seatbelt. Better late than never. Alright, so never exceed 40 inches. Everything's good. We're rolling. We're going to apply full takeoff power, maximum takeoff power. That's 46 inches, 2800 setting cow flaps.
50.
Our rotation speed will be around 100 at that weight.
80.
Let's turn the light on the nose wheel a little bit. 100. So we're going RPM,
Flaps up.
2300. 2300, I don't know, that's what I call it. Yeah. 1300, yeah, we're sinking a little bit. Alright. So we're gear up, takeoff, climb power, sorry. Full ridge, auto ridge. So we're gonna climb the heading of the runway for the first 1000 feet. Of course, for Montreal, we should be flying on the heading on the track of 188 or 185. Sorry. There we go, that's 1,000 feet above ground. Now the one thing I did notice is the rudder pedals, or the rudders on the Pony are especially effective, and I would not have expected that. When I saw the triple tail at the back, I was like, wow, okay, understand the design there. They went with triple tail so that it could make the tail lower, so that it would fit in the hangars, the garage. Well, yeah, the hangars they have back in the garage. One of my car mechanics. And but I was convinced by the look of it that the area was going to be much smaller than a regular one tall tail in the back, and that it would never be that effective. But oh God, was I wrong? Seriously, if you guys bought that or plan on buying the Pony, which I seriously suggest, be uber gentle with your rudder pedals, because this is very responsive. It's very sensitive, and as cabin of the ship works with A2A, if you're starting to slip and shake the heck out of your passenger on the back, you're gonna lose some kudos there. You're gonna get a few baby crying around. Now I know some of you guys are probably like, oh, come on, just do it. No, I won't. Sorry, I already belly landed that thing once and ruined my career. I'm gonna start to hurt my career here. Alright, so we're pretty well established. I turned a little bit too much. We're just gonna put the autopilot on. So I'm gonna turn on those pretty servos here. There we go. I'm gonna make sure that my compass is still good. There we go. 180. Sorry, 185. No, 180.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello from the flight deck again. We're currently climbing to our cruise altitude. Upon reaching this altitude, we'll dial a nice, smooth, quiet cruise for everyone.
that's it. We're climbing towards Montreal at a pretty consistent 600-700 feet per minute and almost 160 knots. So such a good airspeed. It might be a little bit too fast for a climb. I will have to check in the manual what would be the recommended or the best climb speed. But I do tend to climb my plane with a little bit more speed. I see that as a safe way of making sure that the engine gets plenty of cooling air and that the flight engineer is able to actually shut the get some turbulence in there. And the flight engineer is actually able to close and shut the call flaps, which are pretty effective and very draggy. I don't know if you can see those big flap there on top of the engine calling, but yeah, there are no small traps. They're pretty good calling. Pretty big, call flaps. So I hope you guys enjoy. If you have any questions regarding my setup, regarding the plane itself, anything about VR or whatever settings I'm using, seriously feel very comfortable to ask in a comment, send me a personal message. You can even reach me on A2A forum. My nickname on the forum is Stefan.cote.1, so STEPHAN.COT.1. And I always appreciate when you guys give me some kind of feedback, and I always make sure that I respond, that I reply something kind of intelligible as much as possible. So take care, guys, fly safe, have fun, and if you guys enjoyed that video, please give it a thumb up. Thanks, bye bye.